To hold a slightly different opinion from Dr. Okot when we are now addressing the issue of the president's trips.
Right.
As Kenyans, one way or the other, we're still going to actually blame Ruto. If you just sat in State House, you're like, hey, you know, we are Mekatu.
What are you doing?
He can't even go to the US, can't even go to China. He's not even making these trips. So what is he really doing? And when he makes those trips, we also now blame him. Flying president. We call it what, 38 trips?
Right.
39 so far. The last one being Congo Brazzaville.
Maybe Mfangano Island. Because he was there on October 7th.
That's within Kenya.
And I was here, I think, about a month ago when there was the grilling of the president one more time around the trips that he makes across the country. So either way, damned if you do, damned if you don't, because we were saying, oh, he's making too many trips across the country. And now he's making too many trips across the world. And then if he's just sat in State House, what is our president doing? I'm a car to State House. But specific to your question, the answer is yes, in the sense that there is a ripple effect, there is an economic benefit to some of these trips. I say that with very clear thought that it's not an electric switch. It's not an automatic switch that, hey, I've gone to Saudi Arabia, I've switched on this button, and so this money is actually going to flow. We have to wait a little bit for some of those agreements to actually mature. And yes, foreign direct investment, we don't live in isolation. We live in a global economy, and everything that happens anywhere affects us here. Yes, we're talking about jobs, and that is why I was holding a slightly different opinion from Dr. Okot. It's okay for the border guy to be transported to Serbia to do some work there, because look at the amount of money that actually usually comes in from our friends in diaspora when they actually send that money back into this country. That is crucial. And let's open up these opportunities, regardless of what kind of level of a professional is or a occupation they are. I'm aware of the interest of a lot of Kenyans to be actually, let me not say shipped, but to travel to Europe to actually patch up the job gap there. That's beneficial to us. We don't have an economy that actually can absorb all of us in gainful engagement and employment. And my last point here, where I fully agree with Dr. Okot, and I'm sure my sister here will also agree with me, is that we are approaching the issue of economics from a very amorphous point of view. And we have a lot of quirks. We have quirks even in the legal profession. We recently had a very successful lawyer who hacked it,
right, and
faked it, and was also successful. But the way I measure this economic issue is I look at my kinsmen at the village in Mfangano, the youth in the village, the old mamas in the village. The Kenya Kwanza government brought in something that I think it was Mudavadi who brought it into the conversation of Pesa Mfukoni. If this youth and this lady in the village, this woman in the village, this mama, this auntie of mine does not have money to spend, there's no way you can give me what economic matrix and tell me, oh, Kenya is doing well, 5.3% growth. That's hogwash.
Let me ask you, what are the indicators of economic stability?
I've just given you an indicator.
Which is the purchasing
ability
power
of my auntie to be able to buy food.
So that's the biggest indicator.
That to me is the primary indicator.
Right.
The primary indicator. If they can afford food.